everybody. How are you doing today? This is the new episode of Coffeetable Conversations, and here is our new guest. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Josh, or as many people call me, Jantmor. Nice to be here.
The iconic Jantmor Reviews host.
I wouldn't say all that, but I.
But yeah, I'm really happy to have you here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
That's
I'm
good.
doing phenomenal. Glad to be here.
That's
you for
great.
Inviting me.
Yeah, I think you're really one of the best people on the platform, especially when it comes to
Thank you.
talking about media and talking about art and the artists who bring it to life. And I always really appreciate how candid you are, and how much you bring light to the artists who aren't talked about as much.
Thank you so much for taking notice of that. Yeah, I definitely tried to.
Yeah, I mean it's
trying to get better at it.
It's a really special. It's a really special, part of pop culture, like to take space in, I think.
Yeah, especially with like all the strikes going on, and we see like how many times like creatives are oftentimes like abused and like taken advantage of, and it isn't really talked about.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it is very much important to,
And I think
about it. Yeah.
I also think a lot of the people who are, consuming art, have taken on the tone deaf behavior of like the billionaires who are abusing artists, by just thinking like, oh, it's just a job, you should only be paid like whatever, and like you're not making good movies anyways.
Yeah, I've always hated that. It's like, it's so weird. It's like, oh, you guys aren't making like good this or good that, but it's like I'm still doing a job. That's still labor.
Yeah, like
it's like
I
do deserve to be paid for it.
No matter what you feel about whatever, people should be paid for the labor they put into something. Like it shouldn't be, a controversial thing to say that people should be paid for the work they put into something.
And I think it goes down to like how people view like a lot of this work is like, one of my friends was talking about this, but like a lot of the times people refer to this line of work as like content, like everything like is content, like just constantly push out, like, and I guess people just like blindly consume it and only view it as such, which is, I guess, is like a downside to social media, is because like there's so much out there, and I guess people just, with so much being out there, they take it as just like another thing to watch or another thing to
and
consume,
it's
and not as
kind of like
art.
It's mindless, and it's
Very mindless. Yeah, it's the best way to put it. Yeah,
it's dehumanizing to the the human effort that goes into all of this.
definitely, especially like especially in terms of like talking about the art. I feel like a lot of times people are just so comfortable saying anything nowadays on the internet, like disrespectful and rude, especially in terms of when talking to art. And I'm not just saying that as like, oh, you can't like say anything negative or give a bad review about it, but it's just like, you need to remember at the end of the day, if we're going to critique someone's work or we're not a fan of it, just blindly saying like, oh, this sucks, you're trash, and da-da-da-da. Like, none of that is productive and doesn't really
And also it's like they forget,
very counterintuitive.
They forget these people are exactly that, people. They think like all of the people in Hollywood are like, Tom Cruise, like private jet,
rich, wealthy,
gigantic mansion. But you have like people who are writing shows like, I heard that whole story about, I think it was the showrunner of The Bear. When it got all those awards, had like like a negative bank account.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, it was either negative or just like at zero.
Like, that shouldn't be able to happen. if like
it's weird considering how that happens like throughout the industry, like even musicians. That happens to musicians. I think it was, and I saw this video recently. They were talking about the group TLC, which was a big like R&B group back in like the early.
Oh yeah.
I want to say late 90s, early 2000s, and they were talking about like the Grammys. Like they were like, "Yo, we're like dead broke because like we signed a bad contract," and you know, just oftentimes in the industry, so many people are taken advantage of, and so many people are exploited for their work and for what they do, and are just treated like nothing. You know?
Well, yeah, because they're not wise, like because they're so new to the craft and new to the business,
to the industry. Yeah.
They aren't seasoned enough to realize when they're being taken advantage of and how they're being taken advantage of. Because
when they figure it out, it's like already too late, and you're already like in debt. You're already in the hole. You're already perform these
and it's
massive concerts and shows just to like make up for all the massive amounts of debt you owe to like these companies, and it's a whole thing. It's just really depressing how normalized like abuse and bad working habits are instilled into the industry, in multiple industries throughout entertainment.
Absolutely.
It's heartbreaking. I'm so glad that actors and writers went on strike, even though I know it's a very tough position to be in, because like when you're striking, you're not working, and at the end of the day, we all have bills and stuff to pay, and it's a difficult like thing to do. So I understand how difficult it is, but if the end result of these strikes, and we're already seeing with the WGA strike coming to an end and them getting all of those benefits, was a huge congratulations to WGA on their win with that.
Such a wonderful thing.
Absolutely, and then I hope, and SAG is coming back to talk to the AMPTP this Monday, so I really hope that these companies get it together, because we're hearing about multiple strikes coming. We're hearing about the gaming industry potentially going on strike with SAG-AFTRA.
Also animation,
VFX workers. Like a lot of people are like, no, we're not going to take this abuse anymore. We're A, not going to take this abuse, and B, we're going to be paid like nothing for our work, for our art and the time we put in. We're not having that anymore. Like prices are rising everywhere. Prices are going to continue to rise. Like you need to match what's happening, because it's just a whole messed up system that we're in right now. And
I think one good thing about this summer is that how well like Barbie and Oppenheimer did kind of proves wrong the people who were saying they don't deserve fair payment because they don't make good movies. But like people are still willing to go and see movies because they're good movies and they're artistic achievements, and
right.
And it also shows that at least maybe it's an optimistic point of view, but to me it shows that ultimately a point of view and a artistic artists coming together and making something beautiful will win out in the end.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, and going from that, your show, Jantmor Interviews, is a big part of it is about highlighting the importance of voice acting. What does voice acting mean to you?
I usually ask that question. That's funny. That's interesting. Voice acting means a lot to me because I have so much respect and appreciation for the craft, and a lot of my inspiration comes from animation and video games. I see cartoons even as I've gotten older. I still keep up with cartoons and anime and video games like that, and I watch that more so than anything. And of course, what brings that to life is just voice acting. through my show, I've come to have an appreciation and love for the craft of voice acting, because now I understand what goes into bringing so many of these iconic, beautiful performances that really tend to go overlooked, because
Oh, absolutely.
it's just like, oh, it's just a kid's show, or it's just a video game. Like, I care about the mechanics and you know what I'm saying? Like, for video games, I agree. Like, oh, the mechanics are cool and stuff, but also, like, a lot of the times there's some awesome character work and story going on here. That
Well, yeah, and like the backlash with like MK1 with like some of the voice acting,
Mega Fox,
really
yes.
really goes to show that like well done voice acting makes a game as much as the game design, the mechanics, the like layers upon layers of hard work from all of these artists. You know, it's an orchestration. Like, video games are an orchestration, comic books are an orchestration, animation is an orchestration. It's like, you know,
Everything matters.
every
Every
piece of the
aspect
puzzle
of it.
is important. I mean, and going back to the strikes, that's why this is important, because every person matters.
Yes, absolutely. Every person matters, and everyone should be respected and appreciated for their time. So let's go back to your question. Like, voice acting means a lot to me. I love the craft. I love the industry. I love the people that I've had the honor of speaking to, and it's just something that I have come to grow to love and appreciate more so than anything else. Yeah,
It's awesome. Going from that, like, when do you think you fell in love with animation?
very early on. Like, very early on. Like, I would always mimic voices. I was still a huge Transformers fan, but I always like tried to mimic Optimus Prime's voice in like a really bad impression of it. But like, I would just always like try to mimic the characters' voices, and I've just always loved animation for what it is and what you can do with that medium. Is just so beautiful. So I've loved it since I was like a little kid.
Yeah, I love that. Like, what do you think was like the first kind of imprint when it comes to like animation for you?
Good one. I never thought about that. Let's see. Well, I was big into Nickelodeon. So if I had to like pinpoint something, it'd have to be SpongeBob. I mean, like, I feel like that's just like,
It's a classic. It's
it's a classic.
all day, every day.
It represents what cartoons are, like, just that wacky, fun nature of animation. It represents the funny, wacky side of animation. So the earlier seasons, some of the later seasons, like the newer seasons, you know, they are what they are. But just like earlier, like peak SpongeBob, hilarious, like, just represents the phenomenal, wacky side of cartoons so perfectly. So I would have to say SpongeBob.
Yeah. Also, like the incredible talent of like the chemistry of all of those voice actors working together. Like
Nancy Brown, Tom Kenny, Dee Baker, Bill Fingal, I think I'm saying his last name wrong. I'm really bad with pronouncing his name. But the guy who plays Patrick is great.
Yeah, like if one of them wasn't there, I don't think the show would work.
Oh, absolutely. Especially since they've been doing it for so long. I don't think you could recast one of them.
No, you could
like
not.
Recast one of them. It's just gonna be a whole thing. Like, I don't know. And that's why I also think like some of these shows need to come to an end. Like,
Oh yeah,
Simpsons, SpongeBob, Family Guy. Like, as much as like they are a staple in American animation, I think it's very important that we recognize when it's time to let it rest and let it live. Because I was watching recently like The Simpsons, and you know, one of the voice actors who plays Homer's wife, like her voice sounds so, I don't know, it just sounds different because she's been doing that, scratchy type voice for so long. And
Oh, absolutely. And like,
yeah,
it's like the whole idea of like these shows going on forever is, it's a corporate thing. It's a as long as we can squeeze some cash out of this, it doesn't really matter how good or bad it is. I absolutely agree, because like some shows just need to end when they do, like when a show really overstays its welcome, like you can tell. And I think if it does that for too long, it can start to ruin its image as like, something really special and iconic.
Right. And I definitely agree. And it's just, I don't know, it's very upsetting, and I really
Absolutely.
it's upsetting, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, everything has its time. The beautiful thing about life and changes and stuff is, I guess, the ending, so we could appreciate all of it. But if it keeps going, it just dilutes the iconicness of the series.
Well, yeah, life is special because it doesn't last forever, and
right.
you have
to everything.
Soak in the moments when they're there.
Yeah, and it's I hope that if Tom Kenny cannot do the voice anymore, like if Tom Kenny's not SpongeBob, I don't want it. Like, I'm so serious. Like,
end it and let Tom Kenny sing in his band.
Right? Yeah, he's doing great with that. Yeah, so like, just call it a quits when you know that it's time to move on, because I truly do think, like, with iconic voice talents in both like The Simpsons and SpongeBob, when they can't do the voice anymore and it's so like visibly notable, something has to give. So
yeah, I think that's why like I appreciate shows that just like decide to end.
Yes, like Gravity Falls. Like I feel like Gravity Falls could have gone on for like 2 more seasons, but I'm glad it ended the way
absolutely
Alex Hirsch had intended.
Because like, I mean, it didn't have to be forced to go out, and also it just had a tight ending.
Yes,
it just felt right. And I mean, like, we all know Alex Hirsch is talented enough that he could have gone for like many more seasons.
Absolutely,
we know that.
Absolutely.
We know that, but I'm just glad it ended there, so it didn't risk, diluting itself.
Absolutely, beautiful.
And yet, and a show like Owl House ends before it was supposed to, which they still wrapped it up, but like that happens, and we get 20 million seasons of Big Mouth. Which is, but I mean, a conundrum.
I don't know. It's just the general audience's taste in animation is very odd. I don't know.
Though, I was pleasantly surprised the other day when Netflix goes from, being one of the biggest aggressors of animation to releasing like 15 trailers for animated projects all in one day. I mean,
Netflix's marketing is like really
sounds kind of fishy. Feels like they're really trying to backpedal, but I will say all of that stuff looks great. Like the Astro Boy fan in me is really excited for that series based on Astro Boy. But yeah, Netflix is weird.
Yes, especially in terms of marketing.
Yeah, and also like I could talk about the problems of modern day marketing all day. because it seems like no studio knows how to market anymore, except for like Tom Cruise and Dwayne The Rock Johnson are the only people who know to market a movie for some reason. And
I think the problem with marketing nowadays is like companies rely too much on the cast and social media.
yeah,
And
like,
that is a huge problem. And it just goes to speak about how like these companies want us to do all this by ourselves, right? They want us to market and promote and
yeah,
all this and the third, but y'all don't want to compensate us properly. So I don't understand what's going on here. You guys don't want to market these shows. Y'all clearly see the value in actors and talents willing to work on their own, but you don't want to compensate us properly. So I'm confused what the disconnect is here.
yeah. It's like, you want the product to sell so you get money, but you don't advertise the products so they can sell to get money, and you won't
Right.
you won't give any of that money to the people who are actually making the things that get you money, which in of itself is just bad business practices anyways.
Absolutely.
And it's just mind-boggling, because like I don't want to talk about the Flash for that long, but but like it's mind-boggling they like put so much advertising into that movie and then like zero into Blue Beetle.
Yeah, that.
And then scrap Batgirl altogether.
Yeah.
It's just disheartening.
Very.
But yeah, studios are dumb.
Yes, very.
Continuously stupid and just plain old evil. And like, I'm still baffled when like, I don't remember what studio head said it, but one of them literally said, "Oh, we're just gonna wait until they're homeless."
Yeah, that's
Decided
that was a very smart thing to say.
Decided to say that to a news outlet and thought that would go over well.
Ridiculous.
I have a sneaking feeling it's a certain someone who runs Warner Brothers, but not gonna say for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would not be surprised. And like going from that, going based off of like, your roots of love of animation with SpongeBob when you were younger. What was your upbringing like?
Very, very, very unique because I grew up in New York, so there was so much there that I got to appreciate at a very young age.
Oh yeah.
There's a mixing pot of so much stuff, so many different cultures that I do miss a lot. Can't lie. Oh, that I do miss a lot from
Yeah, I mean,
being in Georgia.
that's
It's a very different scene.
That's so important to grow up and have so many different types of people around you. I feel like if that was the truth across the board, like in America,
Life would just be so
we'd
much
we'd
better.
have a whole lot less
Yeah.
problems and have a
Yeah.
whole lot less evil.
More understanding. You
Yeah,
definitely have more understanding.
because like I think that's a big part of people hating people for differences. It's because they don't take the chance to know them as people.
Right.
Which I think is really important to talk about. And that's really easy for me to say as a white guy, but I mean, that's a big part of this this show. I really want to, make a platform for that kind of thing.
That's beautiful, man. I'm the same way. I think that's why I love interviewing and speaking to people. Is just like getting everyone's perspective and opening people's
it's so important
to it all.
Like, people's stories, people's perspectives, their, the mixtures of cultures that like create people is so beautiful to me. And like the idea that there are so many different worlds in our backyard,
yes,
I think is just incredible. Yeah, it's just an incredible thing to me. And like, take a chance to know people that you don't know yet. Like, everybody out there, just, say hi to people you don't know and just talk to a stranger for a second.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Put yourself out there a little bit more.
Yeah, like, what's the point of the internet if it just isolates us more?
I agree, 100%.
Use it to bring us together, and that's what this is all about. I want to bring everybody just a little bit closer every day, because I think that's what art does best.
Absolutely.
It connects people.
It connects people. It allows you to see a piece of yourself that maybe you didn't see before. It's a beautiful thing.
And it's like that's what I never understood about people saying they don't like connect with like people of a different skin color, people of a different culture, different ethnicity.
Yeah, like those weird
different gender. Different
fandom menace type.
Yeah, different sexual orientation or whatever. Like, one of my favorite characters ever is Kamala Khan. I connect with her and relate with her a lot. Does that mean I'm not a woman? I'm not of that race. Like, I'm a white guy. So like, that's not my story, but I still relate with a lot of the stuff that she goes through. And I think it's really important to like find similarities as much as differences.
Yes.
Also, like,
I completely agree.
I just think Miss Marvel is one of the best comics I've ever read.
Read her stuff. I enjoyed the show. I need to get her stuff actually. I heard her newest stuff is alright, but I want to check out her roots.
The original run is fantastic. I really dig what Aman Vellani is doing with the new run. I was naturally a bit worried about the whole mutant thing they're doing with Kamala, but for all it's worth, I think she's doing that transition well, and not forgetting.
Good to hear.
And not forgetting, the roots of Kamala. Like they're not getting rid of the Inhuman roots. Even though Kevin Feige wants everybody to forget about the Inhumans.
Yeah, you see the switch? It's like a switch. They were like didn't want anyone for the X-Men. When remembering the X-Men are mutants now, it's like I have not seen like an Inhumans comic or anything.
It's like, dude, the Inhumans are not interchangeable with the X-Men. They're just not.
It's a completely different race and a completely different like origin for them.
Yeah, like they're royalty, and in a completely
both of them.
Completely different way of being, and the stories there are really interesting. Also, like Lockjaw, Magic Dog. Like, what is not marketable about that?
I guess the show didn't know.
Like, just give it another
Because
shot. I mean, Thor.
kill for the Inhumans too.
Like, Thor got 4 movies. Captain America got 3 movies. Iron Man practically got 7 if you just count the Avengers movies.
Yeah, I there's so much you could do with the Inhumans. It's actually insane.
Yeah. And it's funny, Amon Vellani like loves the Inhumans. And got like mad with Kevin Feige about what happened in Doctor Strange with Black Bolt. That's just really funny to me.
I love her. They couldn't have picked a better person for Ms. Marvel.
Yeah, I think she's one of the best casted superhero actors. Because
I would agree, yeah.
She really loves the character, and also she's a nerd. Like, that's Kamala. Kamala should be a nerd. Like, that's her character, and that's something I really connected with her too. And she plays it so well, and also like she's genuinely is Kamala, and like actually casting someone her age instead of like casting a 20-year-old was nice.
Yeah, there's like the thing about comic book casting is like some of the times when they cast, like they either cast with like younger characters, they cast like too old, if that makes sense. Like for Billy Batson, for example, like casting Asher Angel as Billy Batson, bro. That was not good, because like in the next movie he's literally is taller than Shazam himself. So it's kind of like a weird thing.
Well, yeah, like it's gotten to the point where Asher is like just old enough to play both sides of Billy.
Yes. Oh my god.
I mean, and the same thing happened with Mary Marvel. You know, she's just playing both versions now because like there's such a huge gap between movies. Why'd that happen? That wasn't exactly great planning.
Yeah.
On WB's part. Not that they're ever good at planning, but that's another story.
Yeah, definitely.
Going off of that, what is your favorite part of the creative process?
It's an expression of yourself. Like, just like writing down and just being able to channel something. Channeling. I don't know, I just love how it's an expression of self, and
I love that.
And just being able to like dive deep into it. There's nothing better.
Absolutely. Where did the idea for your interview series come from?
Well, that's a funny thing, because this was not supposed to be a series. It's supposed to be like a one-off, and like I never do it again.
That didn't work out for you.
Yeah. it was supposed to be a cutoff, but the whole start of it was I was a huge Linkin Park fan, and of course he has sadly passed away, but I really wanted to like get to talk to the people. It was a random idea. Like I was just like, I should ask to interview one of the members of Chester's old band Great A's, because they were releasing a posthumous album for it. It was a random idea. I thought they were gonna say no, but they said yes, and that was just the start of this whole series. Like I'm going 100 plus deep, you know.
Yeah, it just took off.
Yeah, like there's so many more. I have so many interviews. I've been so blessed with this incredible opportunity. I've met some incredible people. Met my childhood heroes. I've become friends with some of them. It's just a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah,
and I'm so appreciative of it, and I love it.
It really is all you, man. Like, you got there because of you, and you know, you're just instantly recognizable passion for for what you're talking about, and the people you're talking to, and that kind of stuff really shows, and it gives you a credibility.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you. I don't know. I'm just thankful to God that people are interested, that people watch, that
Yeah, absolutely.
people sharing my clips. I'm about to work on some more stuff today.
Awesome.
I just love working on my art, and I just love interviews. I love working with my interviews. I love making reels. The only thing that bothers me is just like it takes so much time, like because I overthink so much. And
Absolutely.
I just make the process so much longer. But I'm gonna be taking a bit of a break off of creating for a little bit to just like come to my senses. And
yeah, I feel that. Like it's a taxing process.
It is, man, and it's like social media is so difficult because it's like you have to spend so much time on it, and you end up getting addicted, and then you just end up getting exhausted, and it's just
it's a change your brain chemistry kind of thing. Like,
no, it literally is. Like, there's studies on this.
Yeah, like it gets your, and especially with like YouTube and everything, it gets you so focused on like the numbers, and it's like you don't do it because of the numbers. Like, you don't do it because you need this many or this many or this many people to see it. You do it because you love it. But when we're doing something we're that passionate about, and putting so much work into that, we want people to see it. I mean, that's an innate thing of the creative process, I think. Which I think like social media and the analytics of YouTube, the algorithm kind of just almost corrupts.
Yeah. I try not to, that's the thing. You talk about numbers, but bro, there was like a point where I was just like so fixated on numbers, and it really like took me out of everything. Like, still, even now, like I look at numbers and I'm trying to break out of that.
Yeah.
Because I just want to create, and that's another reason why I'm taking a break, is just to like have a detox from all of this and just
absolutely
coming back to what really matters about creating. Like, I have so much fun doing this.
Yeah, it's like I've gotten to the point where like do you want to know what my highest viewed video on this channel is?
I mean, very interested. Yes.
It is me reading an article about Immortal Thor.
Really?
That's all it is. I got like 400 views.
That's awesome.
And like I made that like Puss in Boots video, which I spent like, I don't know, 7 months on. And it got like 80 views.
Yeah, see, that's such a weird thing about social media. Like, or just like it's literally the videos you don't expect.
Yeah, like the most random things hit. Like, I spent probably 10 minutes on that Immortal Thor video.
Right.
I basically screen recorded. I basically screen recorded me reading the article and with my voice over it, and then I uploaded it. I don't think I even edited it. And yeah, I did not expect that to hit.
I didn't either. Like, I was looking on my TikTok yesterday. No, I was on TikTok, and they recommended me my own page, which whatever.
I think you might like this.
Yeah, I think you might like an account you literally made. But, it showed that, because this video was not doing good at first. I was like, I was just like chucked it up to another, like, didn't do that well, got the views it got, and I'm happy for it, so it is what it is. But I looked, and it randomly got like 20k views and like 2,000 likes. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
It's so weird. It's literally the things you don't expect, and it's so interesting. So interesting.
It is. And it's like, the whole YouTube algorithm is like, it is confusing. It was confusing. I have no idea how to make any sense of it.
You and me both, because it's like you can study the algorithm all you want, and
it's like when you get down to it, you just gotta make the stuff you want to make.
Absolutely, and try not to get bogged down by the numbers. If I was to give anyone advice on like creating and making stuff, it would be to just not get caught up in the noise, you know, because you get so caught up in the numbers and the subscribers and the views, and it's like, well, for one, like that could change on a random, you know what I'm saying? I'm losing and gaining followers and subscribers all the time. It's not
also like the algorithm changes like probably every month,
constantly with every update. It just changes and new things happen,
because like, you know, like at first it was like short videos were the thing. Then it's long videos. You got to do long videos. And now it's shorts. You know, it's TikTok now. Blah blah blah. You know, it's unpredictable. You know, and and it messes with your brain, and you just got to remind yourself like why you're doing it.
Absolutely.
And it's for the love. It's not, you know, if you're doing it for anything else, then find a different thing. Because YouTube is not a thing you should do for anything else but love.
I agree. You know, but I do understand why people are like crazy.
So like, going off of that, like, what do you think is the spirit in mission of Jantmor Interviews?
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
What do you think is the spirit and mission of Jantmor Interviews?
I like that question. The spirit of it is, and ambition is, the mission of it is to just get the word out there about voice actors and voice acting, and to make people come to appreciate artists that put a lot of work in, and to just bring more awareness to fantastic talents. I think my problem for a little bit there was like I was just looking at it as like content. Oh, let me get this person, but
kind of like a treasure hunt kind of thing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh my God. Yes, absolutely like that. And that's not the point of this. The point of this is to speak to phenomenal talents, of course, because like obviously I want to speak to them, but also to like get awareness out there and for people to learn something, learn anything, and take a piece of my conversation with them throughout their day. And I hope that it engrosses their life the same way each conversation I have engrosses mine. So yeah, my mission is to just get more people known, more education out there about certain topics, and to just have a fun, good time. You know, everything I do is an extension of myself, like my YouTube.
Oh, absolutely.
Instagram, my TikTok, like everything I make is an extension of me and my God-given abilities.
Absolutely.
So I would just say that it's me, like.
I love that.
It's me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's,
yeah.
That's
I mean, going off of that, like, when you were younger, who did you want to be? Like when you grew up.
I want to be? Oh man, it's crazy. Cause you know when you're a kid, like things change. Like
yeah, like
when
I was like 5, I wanted to be Batman.
Yeah, something like that. Like, man, when I was younger, I wanted to be the president, and then I wanted to be a taxi driver, and then I wanted to be an astronaut, and then to be a lawyer because I just finished Daredevil, so I wanted to
Oh
be a
yeah.
lawyer. and then when I realized what goes into it, not for me.
Yeah. It's like, I could like do the arguing part, like the Matt Murdock speech at the end of the episode kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like all the studying and all that stuff.
All the studying, all the school.
Not my.
Oh my
not
God.
my game. Not my game.
100%. No, I can never.
I
spend as ass as it is. So.
I practically failed school. So.
Look, man, me and you both. I mean, I'm not the worst at school, but like, dude, like, keeping my attention, probably ADHD or whatever.
It's
I'm
like,
not like diagnosed or anything.
I'm just like,
I just have really bad attention.
I have like really bad motivation.
I think I'm the same way too. I think I am too. At points, like I get really bad dry spells.
Yeah, and it's also just like, if I can't get my brain around something, like if it doesn't interest me, my brain is just gonna say, we're not doing that.
We're not. Yes. Oh my God. Like, we're not doing this, and we're gonna go do something else. Or like when you try to focus on something, your brain is like,
yeah, like what is that? Like, what is that?
Oh, I don't know. I hate it. I hate it.
It's like I can write like an English essay, like in like 15 minutes. I don't know. But if I'm like in math class or like science or whatever, I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna absolutely fail.
Yes, I suck in math. Oh my gosh, my least favorite subject.
I hate math with a burning passion.
Me and you both, Jesus.
Yeah, like, I mean, literally my last year was, it was just doing algebra again. Like, it was college algebra or whatever. Which, like, I should have been able to do at that point. But, like, the grades were not looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, math no liking me.
Yeah, no. I thought as I got older I'd get better at it. No, still about the same. Yeah. And I feel so bad because sometimes my brother will need help with like math, and I'd be like, dude, I'm gonna go to YouTube for that one.
It was at the point, like, it's at, the way it is just like my little brother's just smarter than me.
Yeah, it's that's what I noticed. My brother is like really intelligent. Like, he's, I don't know. I just wish he would do more. I don't know. Oh, my toy just fell and hit everything. That's great. Goodness.
Poor toy.
You still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My desk has like a bunch of my statues. And
dude, that's sick.
Yeah. So like when you see my interviews, you'll just see like a random clone trooper or like Starscream just chilling.
Yeah.
Starscream just fell because there's not enough space for it.
I need to do more on camera videos. I am saving up for like a much better camera than I have right now though. I have like an old Canon that my mom used to own, but I'm saving up for like a Sony FX3, which is like supposed to be really good.
Yeah, cameras are so expensive.
They are.
Oh my God, I hate it, dude. My camera at the bottom, like a piece of it got stuck from my tripod, and I have to get it fixed. I mean, I can still use it. I obviously use it for my
I mean, like, that's the problem for me. Like, that's the thing that I've like struggled with the most. Like, what I want to do is write and direct. Like, that is the career I want to go into. But I just can't get my brain around the technical side. Like,
yeah, it's because there's so many rules to it, and there's like so many different things. Like, you have so many lenses and
absolutely
all this other stuff. There's so much that goes into it.
And like, whenever I hold the camera, I'm like super shaky. Because like,
yeah, me too. It's weird. I'm a naturally awkward person.
And I think that it just translates.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm so shaky. It's because I'm nervous. I'm a very nervous
Yeah.
and like anxious person.
Me too. Me too. Like, like, for just I mean, just a question, like, from person to person, like, have you been anxious your whole life, or like, did it just show up at a particular time and then just not leave?
I feel like it's gotten worse.
Yeah.
Over the years. Like it's always kind of been there, but like as I've gotten older, it's just kind of gotten.
Yeah, that's what I feel. Like, well, when I was younger, like, before I was like a teenager or whatever, I had like no social awareness, which meant I didn't really have any like, perceived anxiety.
Right.
I mean, I didn't really take stock of what was happening at any given time. But then when like being a teen came, everything went to crap.
Yeah, and I think that it has to do with like high school and like societal perceptions of what we have to be. Because once you get to high school, I feel like there's just like a certain shift that.
Well, it's like,
I don't
you know, I mean, when you're a nerd, you're, I mean, not particularly fit, and you're not, I mean, you're not even good at school. Doesn't exactly lead to good self-esteem.
Yes.
Which is, I mean, something I definitely dealt with a lot. I mean, how did you deal with it, or not deal with it?
I deal with it is a better way. How do I deal with it? I guess it's just like meditation and journaling has helped me as I get older, and just like breathing and reminding myself that it's gonna be okay.
I
It usually is.
I write poetry. I just started writing poetry at one point.
Awesome, dude! I wish I could write poetry.
Which, like,
that's really awesome.
I know it's such a goofy thing to say, you know, because like you're writing poetry or whatever, and a lot of people who write poetry are kind of annoying, because like pretentiousness or whatever.
Yeah.
Never like a pretentious person, but yeah, it's a really good way to get out your feelings. Especially like after I started having like panic attacks and everything, it was a really good way to vent in that way, and I think it helps better understand your feelings to write about it.
Absolutely, and that just goes back to what we love about art, is like reflecting and being able to put ourselves in there.
Yeah, like, you know, I think art like serves as two things. You know, helps us forget about things for a little bit, but it also helps us understand ourselves and understand each other.
Absolutely.
And I think that
goes back to what we were saying, understanding,
like, you know, understanding that like people who look different from you experience the same bad stuff that you do.
Yes.
Like art builds them empathy. I mean, that's really the thing that's like been in my brain for years. That really, if we just, you know, took some steps together, you know, all of us, like, if we just thought beyond our own like egos and everything, and our own like bubbles of self, we could get some empathy and actually try to understand each other. And I think that's what art does so well.
When people make art that's,
because like,
you know, full of life. I feel like sometimes people just make stuff just to make it, you know.
Yeah, and also like, when you watch something about like okay, like if you hate a particular people group or whatever, and then you watch something that actually treats that people group as human, I don't see how there could be any way you could hate them anymore.
Right.
Because then it's real. Because like those kinds of people that bigoted people don't live in communities with the people they hate. That's just a fact. They seem other to them, but if they actually saw them as human beings, they'd have to examine themselves, which is something they will never do.
Couldn't agree more. Just one more understanding.
Understanding.
That's another thing. Go back to Jantmor Reviews mention is to get that is just also to do understanding. And stuff,
mm-hmm. Yeah, to do understanding and to get understanding. Like.
Yeah, oh yes, that's. See, you answered the question for me. Because there we go. That's what I want. That's yep.
To do understanding and get understanding. That's what life is all about. Because like it's life isn't like a bunch of strands, a bunch of separate strands, just going their own way. It's like I hate to use like a Spider-Man metaphor or whatever, but like it's a web. Our lives intersect with each other, and for us to live with each other, we got to work with each other.
Yes, we're all connected, and we're all connected as one being.
Yeah, like
in a way,
community is what life is all about.
Yes, and that's why I get kind of not upset. I just wish more people would be more willing to reach out and seek help and build that community and build those communicative bonds, because
absolutely.
us as humans are social creatures and we need that. We need that connection,
Like no matter what you believe about like how we came to be, that is innate within us. That we need to be with each other.
Right.
And we can't be with each other if we don't seek to understand each other.
Facts.
And this is the stuff I love to talk about.
Absolutely.
Because if we as a human race had more conversations about this, the world would be a much better place. But the fact is that the people that make decisions that matter don't like to have conversations about this.
Yep. It's just more about greed and power and fueling that division so they could get more greed and more power. And
the fact
like
is,
I said, we live in a very messed up system.
And the fact is, those who are greedy and those who are in power, what do they end up with? Being alone. And like, money doesn't. Okay, like I'm about to quote a Beatles song, but like, money can't buy you love. Like, no amount of money can, make you feel whole. It's, it's being with each other. It's, the love of a friend, the love of your life, family, found family, and, the things that connect us to each other, whether they're big or small. I just love the small things that make us human.
Absolutely.
And after that long philosophical trail, which, I mean, this is what I love. This is what I love talking about. And going to like the most like opposite question to this whole thing, what's your favorite movie and why?
Transformers, and that was the first movie to like make me realize how awesome movies can be, and it still holds true to this day. I watch that movie when I need to unwind, and
That's awesome.
Despite its flaws, I still watch that movie to get inspired. So Transformers through and through, always. I'm actually going to watch that movie this weekend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's like those emotions stay. Those feelings stay. Like, that's the power of movies. Like, you watched like a particular movie when you were a kid, and it filled you with joy, and it can do so again. And sometimes it's even more powerful when you're older and a lot has happened. Some good, some bad, and it can help you get through a day. It can help you heal, and it can help you move forward.
Yes.
I love movies, man.
Me too. I love. You ever like? I'm trying to word this correctly. How do you ever discover a movie like for the first time, and it's just like one of the best things you've ever watched?
That's what like Tick Tick Boom was for me.
Isn't that Andrew Garfield movie?
It was it's like, so Jonathan Larson is the guy who created the musical Rent, which one of the biggest musicals ever created, except he didn't even get to see it become what it was, because he died at like 35. But Tick Tick Boom is about so it's about a couple things. Like, it's about his story of failure, trying to make this super ambitious sci-fi musical.
Oh wow.
It's not about the success story. It's not about him making Rent. It's not about him making the musical that like everybody knows and loves. It's about his struggles. It's about his, how neurotic he is, and about his struggle to maintain his like personal relationships, while also trying to make it as an artist. And like, I've watched that movie probably over 20 times. And
oh damn, okay.
And
that's me in Transformers for real.
And
I can't lie.
And like, genuinely, I cry every time, without question.
Look at the power of art, man. Look at that. Look at that.
Like people tell me like they can't watch like the same movie multiple times. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, I rewatch so much stuff all the time. Like, I rewatch Daredevil multiple times. I rewatch Transformers like 20 times. I rewatched so much stuff. Don't even
like I've watched like another movie I really love is the first Scream movie. I'm
into those. I need to get into those.
They're so good. I think Wes Craven was the best horror director, next to Jordan Peele. I think is the best horror director now.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, and I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Like, they're
drop nothing but hits.
They're the two biggies for me. Like, and I really love horror as a genre in its ability to like explore, societal fears and and trauma and how we deal with that. And like, and Scream is it's such a smart movie, but it's also it has so much fun with the conventions of the horror genre.
You like the newer ones?
Yeah, I love the newer ones.
Okay, cool.
I watched Scream 6 at midnight in a theater, and it was great.
Would you say the Scream movies are like you have to go to the theater to see them, or would you be like, or is it cool if I like to see them on stream?
Well, the first time I watched the first Scream movie was I watched it on my phone in my bed. Which, like, you know, all of the biggies are like gonna kill me for that. Like, you know, Marty is gonna come into my house and kill me for watching a movie on a phone in my bed. But like, it did not affect my experience at all. Well, like, it only affected it in a good way, I think, because like, everybody in the house was asleep. I was in my bed. You know, it was dark. You know, it was at night, obviously. And that, like, those first 5 minutes, I've never been more gripped by a movie than those like first 5 minutes.
Awesome.
And that's one of the best movie experiences, and it was in my bed.
Wow. I like seeing movies on the big screen. I'm not.
Yeah.
There's something about that is.
I'm really big on the theater experience, which is why I watch way too many movies in theaters. Like, it's probably like, you know, it would be alarming if people saw how many times I go to a theater. Like, this summer I watched Spider-Verse like 3 times.
I'm so mad. I only saw Spider-Verse in theaters once. Oh my god! And I literally told myself I'm going to see this movie more than once. Only saw it once.
Such an incredible movie. And like, I saw TMNT. I saw Oppenheimer twice, I think.
Bro, oh my, that's another movie I said I want to see it in theaters, and I only saw it once. But the one time I saw it was the best. I'm not going to lie to you, was the best movie theater experience I've had in decades.
Dude, that's awesome. Decades. Also, another.
I saw it in IMAX with like the speakers booming.
Yes. Another cool experience for me is like drive-ins.
I need to do those.
Like, it's a drive-in like 30 or so minutes from where I live, and like one time I saw there was one night it was E.T. and Close Encounters. Such a great double feature. And then like another night it was Men in Black and Ghostbusters. And I love the first Men in Black so much.
What do you think of the reboot?
I've mixed feelings.
Seems how everyone feels.
I think Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson are like a great match. Like, they work really well together and they have a really great chemistry. It's just, I think it kind of loses like the aesthetic and, you know, how great the world building of the first one was. Because it's so dirty, it's so grimy, it's so like, you know, all of the aliens were so unique and, you know, creepy and gross and slimy. And I just really liked how that felt, and also like the subtext of like immigration, talking about immigration through aliens, I think is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think that first Men in Black movie is like practically perfect.
I haven't seen it in such a long time, but I need to.
It's just well, it's a really unique movie, and also like Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones have such a good dynamic. They just have really good chemistry.
He needs to act in more.
Absolutely. Going from that, just gonna rapid fire some like favorites here.
Okay.
What's your favorite? Who's your favorite musician and why?
Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, because that was my first experience, like actually like loving music, and I love his voice, and I love his albums. So.
Awesome. Favorite video game and why?
Oh, yo, that's a tough one. Jeez. Everyone's like, "When you ask my favorite movie," nah, favorite video game. That's tough. I love it.
You see, I lulled you in with that one.
Yeah. Dude, I'd have to say Batman Arkham City, because I just love that game. Voice acting is perfect.
Such a perfect game.
The stories, I love that game. Great story.
Favorite comic book character and why?
Jesus, oh man. Say Daredevil. I really love the hell out of some Daredevil, dude.
That's awesome.
I love that character.
What's your favorite what's your favorite run on Daredevil?
Can't lie, I need to read more of his comics, but I just love him because of the show. But
That's
I read
awesome.
Born Again, and I think that story is pretty badass.
Yeah. You should try Zdarsky's
Hear nothing
Daredevil.
but good things about the. Yes, that's on my to-do list to like get some trade paperbacks.
Zdarsky is just really cool. He just seems like a nice guy.
I'd love to speak to him. That's a great writer right there.
Oh yeah.
I've loved everything I've read of his.
I'm really loving what he's doing with Batman right now, because
he's working on I didn't even know he was working on Batman.
yeah, he went from Daredevil to Batman. There was a little bit where he was doing both at the same time, but he just finished his Daredevil.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I love his Batman. He's bringing in like some really good elements from like Grant Morrison's Batman, like Batman of Zur-En-Arrh kind of stuff, and he's doing some really interesting stuff there. Okay, now a really big question: what makes a good video game?
What makes a good video game? The mechanics and the mechanics. Let's say the mechanics and the voice acting, animation. All of it's important. I can't lie. Like all of it needs to work. But the same with everything though. Like for all pieces of art, like all cylinders need to be firing.
Absolutely.
For it all to work, and come to life.
Absolutely.
So all of it. Every single piece. That'll be my cop-out answer.
What do you want to see from games in the future?
Taking their damn time, because I feel like right now so many companies are rushing to get their stuff out that it just ends up sucking.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I need companies to start taking their time.
Just less crunch in all of the industries.
Oh yeah. Oh my yes. Please, like hearing the conditions of like VFX workers and how these companies like just cut the grind and crunch out, dude. Like chill out. Like that needs to end everywhere. So I hope when SAG like comes back to negotiations with the video game industry, like that's just a part of it. Like chill it with the crunch. The crunch time is terrible. Stop it.
Yeah, because it's not only.
And I'm sorry to cut you off, but like they're like, oh, let's crunch, but we're gonna unemploy 830 employees. Like, bruh, be for real.
Like
it's crazy.
Like one, bad business move, and two, like those are people who need
830
jobs.
people without a job.
Like
you're making billions. Like, calm down.
Like you just don't care about all of those people, and
never seem to do.
Never seem to do. And also just like crunch leads to a bad, I don't want to say product, that sounds gross. It leads to a bad game, a bad movie, a bad whatever, like
Yes. Oh, just bad all around.
Yeah, like it's bad for the people involved, but it's also bad for what you get from it. Like it's noticeable when people don't have the right time to make a really good video game or a really good movie.
It's important to be patient. Absolutely, it's important.
Yeah.
Take your time. For anyone, if you don't go with anything from this podcast, go with this. Take your time.
Yeah.
Please take your time.
Patience is a virtue.
Yes, literally. Please take your time. I don't care if you have some made up deadline in your head or whatever. Take your time. And if you don't make the deadline, fine. But just take your time, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, like, be kind to the people that work for you. I mean, need to be said, but you know, that's where we're at.
Yes.
Okay. Now we got like the big questions, talking about like what you got going on.
All right.
It's an understatement to say Peter Cullen has influenced your love of Transformers, animation, and voice acting. What would you say is the moment you fell in love with that world and its characters?
When the 07 movie came out. That was because originally when I saw Transformers G1, I didn't like it at all. Like, I hated it.
Oh, yeah?
And I saw the movie, loved the movie, went back to G1, loved the show so many times. I've watched the show so many times. And I've just fallen in love with Transformers ever since the 07 movie.
I love that. You're voicing multiple characters in Derek Wood's incoming masterpiece of a project, Transformers Distortion. What can you tell us about the project, what it means to you as a voice actor, and what it means to you as a Transformers fan?
A lot. As a voice actor, it's just fun voicing multiple characters and do different voices for them. I think my best voice for this show is definitely Shockwave. I have so much fun doing that voice, and just the register I need to go in and the mode I need to get in for that character. Love Megatron, love Bumblebee. Even though Bumblebee for me is Bumblebee is an interesting case because like it's the closest to my voice, but it's the most difficult to perform for some reason.
Oh, really?
So weird.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but I love doing B. I love what Derek. I mean, Derek is a phenomenal writer. Like this is
Derek has no idea how good he is. Like
he really doesn't, and this story is just beautiful, and I love him, and I'm glad to know him, and he's making a fantastic project, and I've just been.
Also, he's just such a great guy.
Yeah, like my jaw has dropped multiple times reading the script, and
it's brilliant. Like I think I looked at it before he was casting anybody, and I already told him like, dude, this is incredible. Like this is genuinely brilliant.
It's astonishing. It's great, and you guys are gonna love it. As a Transformers fan, this is such a unique take on characters we love, and it just changes them into something, I don't know, just out of this world. Like Derek really put a lot of love and appreciation to it. The cast, some of the finest voice actors I've gotten to ever work with. David's Optimus is phenomenal, you know. Nezrin as Alita is fantastic, and I could just say so many wonderful things about everyone I've worked with. Like we're all putting 110% into this project.
Yeah, I can tell.
It's definitely, I can't wait for y'all to see it. Derek is doing fantastic things with the stop motion. He's building the sets, and the composers are just.
It looks so cool.
Beautiful. It's you guys are in for a treat, and I'm anxiously awaiting at the bit for the show to come out. You guys are gonna love it, I promise.
Okay, like moving on from that, another project you were involved in. What is Hypnagogia? And am I pronouncing that correctly?
Hypnagogia, yeah.
Hypnagogia. And what can you tell us about it?
What I can tell you about it is that has to be one of the best weeks of my life. It was fun hanging out with everyone in RTC and making this project. I don't have too big of a role in it. Which you know, as an actor, you always want more. But I'm very happy with the part I have. Working with Jackson was so much fun, and just to get into his mind a little bit was fun. This is the first time I've ever been on a set, like a movie set, and it was so much fun. Like I just enjoyed being on set. Like,
yeah, I can really tell from like all the stuff with all the stuff he's worked on that Jackson like really creates really good environment, and I mean he's such a wholesome dude.
He is, and that's my buddy, and I love him. And, I was just, everyone on there is great. Everyone who's acting on it is great. I'm so grateful to be a part of the project. And just what the messaging of it, and just how it just, I don't know. I love the messaging of the film. I don't want to give too much away before Jackson gets to talk about it fully, but it's great, and I cannot love it anymore. Like it's a sweet little film, filled with a lot of heart. It looks beautiful. Oh my God, it looks beautiful. It's beautiful.
He really knows how to make something. I don't know if I want to say pretty, but like he knows how to make something look really good.
And this is just to the umpteenth degree. Like, this is just so good. It looks beautiful. It I don't know, man. Like, out of everything that Jackson's made, he's made some great shit.
Oh, absolutely.
This is beautiful, and it's a big step in the right direction. You guys are gonna love it, and it's great.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I mean, we've already talked about the writer's strike and actor's strike. So, like, as we talked about before, there's a call for those in the video game and animation industries to strike. What do you want to see, like, going forward? Like, just industry-wide, across all of these art industries.
Better payment and better treatment. Period.
Yes, sir.
Plain and simple. I didn't know that for video games that the voice actors don't get residual pay.
Yeah, I did not know that either. Like, that is horrible.
That's horrible. I made a video and I said, the most recent Call of Duty made $1 billion in 10 days, and none of the actors, and I'm sure like the writers or creatives, see any money from that $1 billion. Like, they just get paid for their session fee and they go on about their day.
Well, like, also like it's arguably even worse for video games because I mean, like, with a movie or a TV show, it's one thing that you like watch again and again or whatever. But like a video game is, it's a constantly unfolding thing, and there can be like updates and everything.
Yeah, there's like DLC, and then there's like microtransactions.
Yeah,
everything must have a damn battle pass these days. Like,
and there's like
these actors need to be seeing. These people need to be seeing some of that profit.
Oh, absolutely.
Making $1 billion, right? And I'm sure it's made way more than that now.
Oh, for sure.
That was when it first came out. But it's like, why aren't these actors seeing any payment from that? It's not fair. That's not fair.
It's really not fair.
Not fair at all.
Yeah. And I mean that so needs to change. And I'm really glad that a lot of people in other industries have, stood up for these people. Other people have
it's great seeing,
have shown their true colors, but there's been a lot of people who have stood up for the writers and the actors, and hopefully soon the voice actors.
It's great seeing the solidarity from a lot of industries and from a lot of people. It's great.
Absolutely. And I just hope that the trend from from how the writer strike has gone and how the actor strike is going. I hope that trend continues across all of these industries.
Yes.
We already talked about mental health a little bit before, but how does your mental health figure into your process?
How does it say it again? Figuring out my process?
Figure into your process.
Well, like I said, art is like a conduit for my feelings and expressions. You know, that's why I try to journal every day and get my thoughts out there.
Absolutely.
So it figures in a great deal. Like I said, everything I do is an extension of myself. So everything just helps me in my journey as an artist. It helps me, like, I don't know, just be a better person. You know, my art helps me be a better person. It helps me understand my emotions so I can heal from certain traumas and things I've been through in my life. It's a great thing.
Absolutely.
I love it. It's a phenomenal conduit, and that's why
it's wonderful.
That's why I'm definitely destined for this.
Yes, you are. Going from that, well, like, if you could give one piece of advice to creative people out there, what would it be?
Ignore the noise. Ignore the views. Ignore the likes. Ignore the comments, and just lock in and work on your craft. Like, always get better at that. You know, everything changes constantly. You're gonna get love. You're gonna get hate. You're gonna get 1,000 views one day, and the next you get like 100 or 50. But everything matters and everything counts as well. But also, don't let that detract you from creating great stuff and making great art. You know what I'm saying? You can't put all of your eggs in one basket in that regard to the numbers. These social media platforms are not fair. The industry, as we can see, is not fair.
Yeah.
So you got to be ready to hone in and focus on yourself and work on your craft, because
absolutely
anything can change at any given time of any day. But one thing that cannot change is your dedication, passion, and love for what you create. That cannot change. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, if it's truly you, that's gonna be the only consistent thing.
Absolutely. So ignore the noise, lock in on your art, and just get to creating great stuff.
And go from that, like, a question I like to ask every person I interview, and it's a big question, which I know, but I just love to see the difference in answers every time. What to you?
Kind of nervous.
What to you is the meaning of life?
Meaning of life is to enjoy it to its fullest extent. You know, we were talking about this earlier, but like, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Life always changes. Life will end. You know what I'm saying? So enjoy it. Be present in the moment. Enjoying life for what it is.
Absolutely.
And yeah, purpose of life is to enjoy it. There doesn't have to be this grand purpose. I feel like sometimes people try to be like, try to find like this big grandiose purpose for their life, when it's, in my opinion, it's just really simple. Just enjoy it and live in it, and try and find joy in each day. You know, I've been losing sight of that recently, and that's what I've been working on, is finding happiness and joy in each day. Like, doing this has been fun, and I've really enjoyed it. So yeah, just enjoy it, you know.
That's awesome, man. So finally, I want to ask, what should we expect from you in the future?
A lot, actually. I'm working very hard on a lot of things. I'm not going to reveal everything, but this acting thing, I'm going to take off with that. My YouTube, I'm going to be making a lot of stuff for that. I'm always testing out new things that I want to do with my short form, like real content. So expect some changes in that coming up very soon, actually. So I'm excited for that. I'm working on a script right now for a friend, and then I'm also working on a script for myself.
Dude,
that's fun.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's a blessing. And you might see me behind the camera soon.
Ooh.
I don't know. We'll see. So, yeah, I got a lot of stuff cooking, a lot of stuff I want to work on. Music is something I've been thinking about a lot recently. So
I love to hear.
I don't know if that'll go anywhere. I don't know if that'll be going anywhere. God damn, words. Talk all the time. I don't know if that's gonna go anywhere, but if it does, don't be surprised. And I'll just leave it there.
Sounds exciting. Once again, I want to thank you for coming on to Coffeetable Conversations. And
thank you for having me. You're really good.
It was
fun.
A wonderful pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
And is there anything you want to leave the audience with?
Just keep watching my man's channel. Keep checking him out. Follow me on Instagram at Jantmor TV. Jantmor TV on Instagram and TikTok. Follow my YouTube, Jantmor. Stay notified. I got a lot of stuff coming. And again, thank you so much for having me. It was a real pleasure. You're really good at this, so thank you.
Thank you. It means a lot coming from you.
You, man.
Everybody have a wonderful day, wonderful night, wherever you are, and whatever you do, be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Good night.